Welcome in to the Tie Ticket on the Roll Tide Rewind. We appreciate you having us here today. It is early Friday. We wanted to get our week 0 best bets out. We're recording this on Thursday night. Ryan just had an open house that he attended to, and he came back just for this video. That's called dedication. How are you doing, Ryan?
Good. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. Well, how a Tie Ticket episode will usually work, we will do best bets every week. We have our week 0 best bets this week. Usually what we will do is we will start with the Alabama game and we will go over the line, how we feel about it, what we would do in that situation if we were confident in betting it. But it's week 0 and Alabama doesn't play anybody. So we're going to go into best bets, and we're actually going to start with Cole. Cole could not be here today. He is in Virginia helping our friend James move into his new home. Thank you to the Cox family for giving James that house. Let's go into Cole's favorite week 0 lines. Ryan, is there one that you dislike, especially the top one?
Yeah, well, I actually don't hate it at -6.5. But ESPN Bet can give you Jacksonville State +7, and I would love that. I think North Dakota State wins the game, but I think 7 could get you a push. I do like Jacksonville State a lot, so Cole should be a little worried on that first one. You'll hear later in the video my thoughts on the second one.
Yeah, so North Dakota State is their first year in the FBS, and last year in the regular season, I did some digging. Their lowest favorite game, they were a 6-point favorite against South Dakota State, and they won by over 30 points. But obviously, this is a different type of ball game.
Yeah, really good program, no question.
Yeah. And then Jacksonville State had 9 games as an underdog last year. They were 4-5 outright, which is pretty good, I would say.
Covering machine.
And then the last game right there, Ryan will touch on his. I think I have Ryan on the next one, but Cole is thinking that North Carolina and TCU is going to be a low-scoring first half. They're traveling all across the world. It's going to be slow to start the game. That is where Cole's thought process is. We'll go into Ryan's best bets, and TCU -8.5. They were -6.5, I believe, a few weeks ago, popped up to 7.5, and now as of today, it is 8.5. And you said it could be 30 and you still be confident.
Yeah, I'm staying far away from North Carolina. I don't like what's going on in their program right now. I think it's all just a huge distraction. I don't know a ton about TCU. I assume Jaden Craig's a starter, quarterback. I don't think he's a bad player. But yeah, it's more what I think about North Carolina than it is TCU. I don't trust anything with the program. They had drama all offseason, drama all of last season, travel across the world. Just too much going on right now for me to trust North Carolina. I'll take TCU and the 8.5.
Yeah, North Carolina only won last year against Charlotte, Richmond, Syracuse, and Stanford, which Stanford is right below right there. And then TCU is getting the Harvard quarterback, Jaden Craig. So I wonder how he will replace Josh Hoover. But also, I feel the same way. I'm staying away from it, but I just feel like how last year went. I don't know why it would be any different. Stanford -5.5. They actually lost to Hawaii in week 0 last year. I think on a walk-off field goal, if I'm not mistaken correctly. You just think Stanford this year just gets it at home, gets it done?
Yeah, Stanford, year 2, I think, with Andrew Luck, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I really trust. I've heard him speak on their vision for the program. I trust the direction they're headed. I think this will be a great opportunity. Week 0, a lot of people will be tuned into every game just because it's the first week and there's not that many options. I think it'd be a great first week to display your product and how good you're going to be. I'll take Stanford to beat Hawaii.
We'll go to the next one. I think it's Parker. Yes, Parker was going to be joining us, but he actually got called to do his job. So crazy how life can work sometimes. But Parker's favorite lines, he has UNLV -4.5. That line has actually dropped. It was 5.5 when he originally sent me the message, and it's been 5.5 for a while, but it has recently dropped to 4.5 in the past few days. Then New Mexico State, phone call. Sorry, guys. New Mexico State is -30.5 a few days ago, and they have now since gone down to plus 32.5 against Florida State. And I looked at Florida State from last year. They had 2 games against kind of 2 easy opponents, East Texas A&M and Kent State. They were a -46-point favorite against East Texas A&M. They won by 74. They were a -45 versus Kent State. They won by 56. and they started off really hot last year, but I haven't heard the best thing about practice from Florida State. I don't think their quarterback is really half bad. Ashton Daniels, he was the only spark Auburn had last year, but then that was also when they got rid of Hugh Freeze. I don't hate either one of these. UNLV -4.5, spoiler alert, is on my list too. I think Dan Mullen, I have him really high on the Rebels this year. The New Mexico State one, though, I considered that one heavily when I was looking into week 0.
I just could never catch myself betting anyone plus 32.5 week 0. You just don't know anything. But I mean, credit to you guys if you're considering that. It's a real degenerate pick, and it also means you're probably going to have to watch the game just to care about it that much, which may be the worst possible result. UNLV, I didn't know much about UNLV until I was preparing for this video this week. Their starting quarterback is going to be Alex Orji or Jackson Arnold. Is that
crazy?
Correct?
That is correct.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I like Dan Mullen a lot. I think he's a really good coach. But wow. I mean, didn't expect to read those two names.
And starting safety, Jake Pope.
No way. Jake Pope's at UNLV?
Yes, he is.
Look at you. I'm thrilled. Aaron Nolan lost the job, correct, at Memphis?
He did, yes. He lost it to a West Florida transfer.
Yeah, I like UNLV. I think Dan Mullen's a really good coach. I think Jackson Arnold or Alex Orji actually can have a lot of success at G5, G6 level. So, yeah, I like that pick.
Yeah, I have UNLV -4.5. I think I would assume Arnold starts, but I haven't read anything today to say that one other one is starting, but either or, both are very great runners. I think Arnold might be a better thrower. Just I guess I'm biased what I saw of Orji when he was at Michigan, where they had him, Davis Warren, and I forgot what the other one was, and they just kept throwing these quarterbacks in, and every one of them was worse than the other one somehow.
Davis Warren at Stanford, I believe.
He is. That is correct. He's the starter.
Yep.
The one I love the most on the mine, and we'll go over all the ones we like the best at the end, USC -23.5 in the first half. Last year, they had two, guess you could call them bye games, Missouri State. They were favored by 36 for the game. They won by 60, but they were up by 32 at halftime, so almost had it covered. Against Georgia Southern, they were 29-point favorite. They won by 39. They were up by 18 at the half, so not as close, but they score so fast. Against the Georgia Southern in the first half, they fumbled on the first drive. Then the next 3 drives were 8 plays, 75 yards, 2 plays, 80 yards, 3 plays, 85 yards. All of them were touchdowns. I like Jaden Maiava. I'm high on USC this year. And I think it's just because it's the first game, they're going to come out guns a-blazing. I've read about things about San Jose State. I just don't think they're really that good. And I think USC capitalizes pretty quickly on in the game. So that's where the love for USC comes into play. Do you have anything to add on those two, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, USC, as explosive as they are on offense, they're just going to blitz a team that's just completely underpowered. So, yeah, I love that line, actually. I think it could be 42-0 at halftime. Like, those are some scores I've seen USC put on some teams or Lincoln Riley teams put on teams in the first half.
And now we will go to a quick underdog session. In the year, we will do an underdog session like this. And what we will do is we are going to look at opponents that are greater than a touchdown point favorite or touchdown or more. And we will pick our underdog each week and we get points how they do. So, for example, if your underdog actually wins outright, that is 2 points. If they just cover, it's 1 point. And if obviously they get destroyed, 0. But for this week, there's only there's 8 games that you can bet on FanDuel, which is the app that I'm on right now, but you can use all the other sports books you can. North Carolina is an 8.5-point favorite, but we've talked about, I'd stay far away. And I think you would say the same, Ryan.
Yes.
San Jose State is a 38.5-point underdog. Like I said, I have the USC bet there. I don't think it's going to be any bit close. Now, the next one, Ryan, you had talked about this one, NC State and Virginia. It was a 5.5-point dog for NC State. It has moved to 4.5. And you think NC State is going to Virginia and winning that football game?
I do. I was not super impressed with Virginia last year. I know what the record tells you, but I watched the games. I was not very impressed. I know they're the oldest team in college football, I believe.
They are.
Yeah. So that certainly plays a factor, but I just trust Dave Doran and North Dakota State to get the job done.
Quarterback for Virginia, Bo Prabula, beat out Eli Holstein. Funny. Crazy, right? Jacksonville State is 6.5, but you said you got it 7 on some. One
ESPN
that's
has it at 7.
Gotcha. Sacramento State at Eastern Michigan. It's Sacramento State, I think, its first game as an FBS program. They're in the MAC for how it works. 9.5-point dog going at Eastern Michigan. I would say I just don't know enough about the teams, but if you had to pick, I would pick Eastern Michigan because your first game as an FBS program is flying halfway across the country to play a team in Michigan. I just don't.
That's my thought process. I would take Eastern Michigan to cover.
And then New Mexico State plus 32.5. We talked about that one. We talked about Stanford and Hawaii. Oh, I just saw line movement for the first time. Stanford was 5.5. They are now dropped to 3.5. So I think your best bet is just a tad bit better now. I have to update the graphic. And then Memphis is now plus 4.5 with UNLV. It has moved a little bit. And those are the underdogs for this week. But like I said, every week we will look at people that are a touchdown or more underdog, and we'll each pick one that we think has the best chance of pulling off an upset. Not necessarily our best bet of the week, but something that we think could pull off the upset. I asked every guy, I said, out of your bets, what are your favorites? And we created the Roll Tide Rewind parlay of week 0. Parker loved UNLV. I loved the USC. Cole loved North Dakota State, and Ryan loved TCU. What would out of these 4, Ryan? Which one are you the most concerned about? And I think I know where the lean is.
North Dakota State. Jacksonville State's a machine. They cover. That's what they do. That's who they are. They cover. I think Jacksonville State's got a really good team. The defense is full of transfers and kind of old. And Charles Kelly is the head coach there. He coached under Saban. He's coached all over the place, really. I trust him a lot. I could see them blowing the parlay here.
Yeah, I guess. See, I would say I think that one also is my fearful one too. Obviously, I picked the USC one and the UNLV, so I'm biased on those two. But between TCU and North Dakota State, after what I saw TCU did in North Carolina last year, I just would stay far away from North Carolina. So, but it's hard for me to cheer against my boys down in Jacksonville State. I kind of always want them to win. I love what was the receiver's name? 6'8", 220. Johnson is his last name.
DeAndre Johnson, I believe, is his name. Yeah.
Stud. Alabama transfer next year. Mark it now. Ryan, anything else you want to add on week 0 best bets? Anything to look out for?
I got nothing here. Player props, if you can find them. Luke Gilbert over yards for the Jacksonville State Gamecocks. I don't know anything about their game plan or nothing. He's just a friend of mine, so we're going to take his over every week if we can find it.
All righty. Well, you heard it here first. These are the week 0 best bets. Be sure to check out everything else on the channel. We just crossed 2,100 subscribers, so we're fastly moving up. But until then, I hope everyone has a great rest of your week. Enjoy week 0 and roll Tide.
Roll Tide.